Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative,
the number one chief
Uncle Freezy.
Freezy in the building.
AD, before we, no way. There is no way Netflix made me wait 9 months for that. There is no way Netflix made me wait 9 months.
Well, when you say that, what's that do thou speak of?
I don't know what that was.
Good morning.
Good mornings.
Are we talking about that as in Jake Paul, Mike Tyson?
Jake Paul is such a fraud.
It hurt my heart.
It hurt my heart.
Freezy. It hurt my heart. And here's the thing, Freezy. I only watched 1 minute of it. Seriously. I was out. I think you texted me earlier. Was I going to watch the fight or something? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be out. It's probably going to be on.
Right.
So I'm watching the Knicks, making their fantabulous come from, lead, lose it, come from behind, right?
Right.
And then the waitress goes, yeah, we're going to have the fight. And I was like, all right. Put it on. We live in yesteryear. Those of us boxing fans, those of us from Brooklyn, those of us major Mike Tyson fans. And to see a 60-year-old or close to 60-year-old Mike Tyson still in very pretty, good shape still a former athlete, still an athlete. But I saw Jake Paul just hit him with like a random jab in the minute that I watched. And Mike was stumbling all over the place.
Yeah, his balance was off.
Right? So it made me think of one, as he said before the Roy Jones fight, he was smoking. Right? Or he'd been smoking. He has the Tyson cannabis and so forth. I'm like, okay, so maybe Mike is still, very happy to get that $20 million.
That's a lot of money, bro.
Reportedly $20 million. Jake Paul gets $40 million. Who the is Jake Paul to get $40 million? I wouldn't give that man $40.
Yeah. But you know who the winner of that was?
Netflix.
Netflix. Because Netflix is an entertainment business.
Yeah.
They don't care nothing about that. All they cared about was the money. Did they put on a great show? The show was great leading up to the fight. The show was great after the fight. But man, come on, bro. Jake Paul is the GOAT. Jake Paul is better at his job than Uncle Freezy.
This is what boxing has come down to.
It's Richard Steele's fault for stopping Meldrick Taylor. I'm telling you, bro.
This all stems from that.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, that's where it stemmed from.
The tracks of my teeth.
Yeah, man, absolutely, bro.
Yeah, we tracing the state of boxing. Rich Paul back to Meldrick Taylor, Richard Steele, Chavez.
Yep.
Proceed, my brother. Proceed.
Karl-Anthony Towns might be the league MVP.
Yes, I think so. But him not playing against Brooklyn.
Yeah.
The other day, I think I texted you immediately. I said, see? Already. A lot of wear and tear. Already. 10 games in, needs a break. Which is fine. I don't think Cat is going to be needing breaks like that. But what happened? Did he bang his back against Brooklyn? Pause? Something like that? Or was it?
No, he actually got injured. No, he actually got injured in the Chicago game, and Tibbs still played him.
Oh, I thought that was just a little bump, nothing.
Nah, that's the injury that got Cat out. Yeah. Yeah, man, they bump knees, bro. And,
oh, yes.
Yo, when I saw that, I was like, yo, why is Tibbs still playing this man? You know what I'm saying? He bumped knees, and Cat was out there hopping around like a Vietnam vet. I was like, Tibbs, that's better, bro.
Tibbs, it's win at all costs.
Tibbs don't care. Tibbs is
he's trying to get a win.
Yeah.
Every night.
He's trying to win.
And that when you play long seasons like that, at times that can be a detriment. Okay. You're not gonna win every night.
Right. You're not gonna win every night.
It's like some things are built in. You know what I'm saying? Like your best season, 73 wins.
Yeah.
They didn't win every night. You know what I mean? And they probably was pushing it. Right. They being Golden State was probably pushing it to achieve something, because who's in front of you? Chicago. You want that record. That record really means something.
To validate their
right. But then, does anybody remember it anymore?
No.
That they won 70 some odd games?
No.
Pushed it to the limit. I'm not blaming, Tibbs for Cat's injury, because that's going to be the tagline. That's what we've done to Tibbs. When we look at his bio, we reach back to other teams and what happened to other stars and so forth. And we're like, see, Tibbs was playing too many minutes. That's why he got injured. Yeah. It was Tibbs' fault like OG got injured last year. It was Tibbs' fault that Randall barreled into that Miami player that Friday night.
Or maybe it was Randall's fault for being on the court when that dude undercut Randall, ran up under his arm and jumped.
It was a dirty play.
Yeah.
It was dirty.
Yeah.
It was dirty, and Randall
run up under that man's arm and come on, man.
It was dirty, and Randall didn't need to, because Randall, every time I look at it, the pass was there.
Yeah.
It was right there. Bang. And it's one of the reasons why Cat is here instead of Randall. All of those things, the domino effect. Right. If Randall doesn't get hurt, the way we were rolling along, is it a fair estimation that maybe Boston doesn't win it all? Or maybe they have a knockdown, drag out, all-time 7-game series that they were not expecting? Because the wins change at that point. Yes, Boston was coasting along and they'd won, 64, they coasting to their 64, 65. But I'm talking about everybody else.
Right.
Once it's like Mitch is hurt, Randall isn't coming back, OG is now hurt and, battling and having in-season surgery on the shooting arm. Unheard of. Right? If those things don't happen, do we win it all?
No.
When I think about it, Freezy, I think we'd have gave him a help, because we were that February, that
January Knicks is a real thing. That January
we still haven't gotten back to that.
Right.
Yes, the players have changed, and faces of change and addresses of change and whatever. The essence of how good we were in that February 2024, we still haven't gotten back to that.
I like that. I like that stretch better than I like Knicks tape. You remember the Knicks tape era?
Yes.
I like that stretch.
Yes, because you know what? In the Knicks tape era, I never felt we were going to win the championship.
Right. Yeah.
When OG came over with Randall, with Brunson, the team that we had, all of a sudden,
we were like, no lie, we were like, who's this guy, Precious Achiuwa? I thought he was the throw-in, and Malachi Flynn was going to be the guy that actually did something.
I remember that, but when I looked at his tape, right, and highlights are deceiving, but the one thing highlights will give you is that it'll tell you if you have skills in a particular area or not.
Right.
And the one thing that jumped off the screen when I saw his highlights is I was like, this dude is uber athletic.
Right.
He's one jump finish.
Yep.
He can block a shot.
Right.
He can run.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just a matter, I don't want to say a matter of time, but once he gained his confidence, right? Look at him. Look at Sims. Both playing the same position.
Right.
Sims is homegrown.
Right. Homegrown.
Once Precious got his chance in that same stretch, Freezy, it was like throwing what? How did we manage to get him in the trade? That's what it felt like.
Right.
In comparison to a homegrown guy that I heard somebody stats over reality. I heard someone, and on their podcast, I'm not even gonna call them out because it's not a hate thing or whatever. But when I heard this and was part of the debate, it was, well, the numbers say that the Knicks are better defensively with Sims. That's not reality. I don't care what the stats say. I don't care what the analytics say. I'm not picking on the young man. I'm just talking about in the here and in the now and even in the yesterday. When we've needed him, you can't give me a memorable anything with him.
Right.
With Precious, you'll be able to run off 5, 6, 7 games.
Right.
Remember when he blocked Embiid? Your homegrown talent is supposed to be on the floor at that time.
Right.
The Indiana series, when all Indiana had in their front court was, outside of, Turner or whatever, but including Turner, what they had was this young guys who can jump, guys who can run. You would think that was a moment for Sims.
You would think it would be a moment for Sims.
Because what can he do? Young.
Run and jump. Yeah.
And jump.
In practice.
Obi Toppin was better than him.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Do I have to? I don't want to think about Obi. I don't want to think about no disrespect to Obi.
We didn't say good morning to the chat. Salute. Y'all know how we do. We just start rolling off. East Blue Drew, David Smith, son from Brooklyn, Ralph. What is that? Ralph Ventura? Ralph Ventura.
That's Lewis.
Ralph Lewis. Salute to you all. Get up and get in. Like and subscribe. Tell him and tell another friend. Let's go. Oh, yeah. We are in stats over reality.
Man. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. If we're talking about just impact on the floor, man, this kid Cat, bro, is gonna take us somewhere, or help us get somewhere. Not take us. He's gonna help us get somewhere. Because the thing about the NBA is about dominating mismatches. If you can dominate a mismatch, bro, you something.
Okay, hold that right there, Freezy. Now that we have Cat up close, right? Remember what the word was before he got here?
Right.
Right? Like, he's not, talented. He's soft.
Yeah.
We're not even going to skirt around it. The word soft was used all around the world. I'm looking at a cat, all pun, right? That is the total opposite of what I heard and what I saw. And because let's not forget, as Draymond Green is choking out his man,
Yeah.
Cat's not choking him out,
Right.
which I would think would be the natural response. We all in a fight. Me and Freezy, we back to back. Freezy getting choked out. I'm choking Freezy's guy out. I'm getting choked out. Freezy's leveling the entire place, right? Because we on the same team.
All night. All
Right?
night, by the way.
Right?
All night long.
Right? So from that vision, that lens, I was a little worried. That doesn't look like the guy that's here now.
No.
Like, when did this metamorphosis happen?
Right. No,
So to that MVP, excuse me, that MVP, that we're thinking that it could be, or even better than that, championships, like, when did this happen? Because the last time we saw him in the playoffs last year, he outplayed Joker.
Right.
Think about that.
And that game 7, he put that entire state on his back until Anthony Edwards came alive in the fight. Remember, Anthony Edwards looked like he was the ops. You're like, Anthony Edwards. We're like, Ant-Man, what team do you play for? Throwing balls away, missing shots, going rogue, you throwing pen. We like, yo, wait a minute, bro. Are you choking? Cat kept them in that game 7, bro. But you know what?
He was listening to, not to cut you, Freezy. He was listening to the hype.
Yeah.
Because at that moment in time, all of a sudden, people are comparing him to the God.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do that to a young man who hasn't even gotten to moment 1 yet?
Right.
In the biggest series of his life, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden, you putting the word out there, we're gonna make this comparison, because you know what? We gotta have things to talk about in the media and whatever. We're gonna compare him to Jordan. And he got Jordan-like things, and yeah, he can jump out the building. Yeah, he probably jumped higher than Mike Jordan. Yeah. How do you do that to a young man?
Yeah.
And now he's hearing it.
Right.
It was the same thing with Vince.
Yep.
Instead of embracing what he had and what he could give you and what he would do to help propel your game, you start leveling him with these crazy comparisons in his first really big moment.
Right.
Unfair. Yeah. But to the Cat point, Cat rescues the day. But here's my thing with Cat. In the conference finals, Cat shoots 28% from 3. The point guard was saying some things that Cat needed to, diversify, whatever, get down low more, whatever. And my thing is, why was he shooting so many threes when it didn't call for it? Okay. Was it a him or was it a game plan? Because if the point guard is saying, Connolly is saying, we need him to be more of this, and in the paint and posts and all, but Cat is shooting 28% from 3 in the biggest moments of their career, their lives.
Right.
What then happened? I like to think it's the orange, blue, and white.
Silver, black. White. Yep. That's us.
That's
Yes,
us.
that's us. That's us.
I like to think that all of a sudden he was a Knicks fan as a kid. He's from the area. It means a lot. He probably remembers a lot of the pain because he's still a young man, so he only remembers the, you
Just
know.
turned 29 Friday.
Yeah.
So we got about three more great years of Cat is what we have, probably.
I think we could have like maybe what is Cat 29?
Yeah, just turned 29.
Dude, what surprised me more than anything else is the physical condition right out the gate. The moment he put on the uniform in the press conference, was like, damn, Cat got guns.
Cat is huge.
Cat is huge. Pause.
I've been trying to tell people, so here's my thing on Cat and Jalen Brunson, right? Because this is a Jalen Brunson thing. I think the same thing applies to Jalen Brunson. You can't judge what a good player does on another team because you never know what goes on in that locker room and you don't watch them on a nightly basis, right? Narratives can be runaway trains, bro. And it's most narratives aren't even true. Now, is Cat soft? I don't know if I want to talk about that, right? But when Jalen Brunson was in Dallas, you could see that there was a player somewhere in there. Now, anybody that saw him in Dallas and thought that Dallas Jalen Brunson was going to be this Knicks version of Jalen Brunson is a liar. Right? Dallas didn't even know. If Dallas knew he was going to be this, they would have kept him. Right? But what we didn't know is if you give Jalen Brunson time to dribble, he could pick you apart with his dribble. Right? And their offense where everybody's moving around and one guy does all the dribbling. Jalen Brunson was not the main dribbler. Luka was. You didn't know Jalen Brunson could be this. But now with the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands and we allow him to, for lack of a better term, dribble, and probe and all that stuff. Jalen Brunson is this. It sets up everything else, right? The same thing with Cat. The thing is, you've never seen Karl-Anthony Towns before the Knicks play with a high-level point guard. And now that you see Karl-Anthony Towns with a high-level point guard, you're like, wait a minute. Cat is taking dudes off the dribble like this? Yes, he couldn't do it in Minnesota because when he took dudes off the dribble, Rudy Gobert is in the paint. Right? Now you're asking him to be the whoever, right? It's one of them things. It's one of them things where people look different in different places. People call Cat soft, but then when you're like, hey, was that Karl-Anthony Towns that punched Joel Embiid in the face? Yeah, that was Cat, but he snuck him. He didn't sneak that. He walked right up to that dude and hit that man with a right cross.
No,
right. A dude told me on the phone he snuck him, and I pulled up the video and texted it to him like, "This looked like him sneaking." To him, he looked that man in the face, and Joel Embiid was still talking, and he went straight to that man. That's not sneaking nobody, bro.
No.
Yeah, it took the whole city of Philadelphia to get Cat off of Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
It's one of
he had enough. Yeah, whatever hand fighting and because let's keep it a buck. Joel Embiid is a dirty ball player.
He is a dirty ball player, yes.
And he gets away with being dirty because he's oftentimes when the camera spans to him, he's in a position like this.
Yeah.
And it's a sympathy thing.
Yeah.
Or
he a company man. Man, bro. Nobody sells the NBA like Joel Embiid, bro.
The man just got $200 million for 3 years, Priest.
Bro, on those knees. And he was like
on those knees.
And when he got that contract, that man was like 357 pounds. Come on, bro.
Do you see him now?
Yeah, I see him now.
I'm like, look, let me help y'all out. The sauna is a nice place after you've worked out and whatever. Okay? If that's your regimen in order to lose water weight,
Right.
and be able to all of a sudden get your muscles back, whatever, it's not going to work.
Nah.
Look at that man. Look at that man. I'm like, all y'all did was drain his intestinal powers. You just weakened him because you suddenly
All he did was drink lemon water. That's all he did. Drink lemon water. No salt and lemon water.
I'm looking at him. The coach is talking about, oh, I can't wait, and he's shown this and shown that. I'm like, what is going on?
He don't even
What
look
are you
strong.
talking about? You don't look strong at all.
Right.
When you got Sims tossing you to the floor.
Bro. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Sims is a big boy.
Sims is strong. Sims need to start yelling on the floor, bro. He need to be more vocal.
He's got I just think it's not a part of his personality. Look, all right. Another young guy that's coming now, passing him. Hakaporti. And excuse me if I messed up his name. Let's just say Airport. Right? Look at him against Brooklyn. Sims started the game.
Right.
And like a freeway, you just saw Airport just go right by him.
Yeah.
And Tibbs never looked back.
Yeah.
Once Tibbs called his number, hey, 55.
Yeah. Yeah. That was it.
Come on now. I've named two guys that literally, and Airport hasn't really passed him as of yet, but in the fans' eye, we know what we've seen.
Yeah.
In the little sample size, we said, oh wow, where did they get him from? Was he end of the second round pick?
Yeah. What do you do with him when Mitch gets back?
He's in the rotation.
Yeah, teams ain't gonna play 3 centers, bro.
This team would need to do that.
No, they can't.
And why? Because Mitch comes back. What's the history of Mitch coming back? It's always a work in progress kind of thing.
Why don't you just wait until he's ready?
When is he ever going to be ready? We've always, either the team or Mitch, whenever they put him on the court, he's supposedly ready.
Right.
And then when he gets hurt, he wasn't ready.
And he wasn't ready. Okay.
And no one takes the blame as to what happened.
Okay.
Mitchell dropped some cryptic shit on TikTok or whatever the hell, right? And then 2 hours later, he'll pull it back off. The Knicks will put out a press crippling and whatever. You know, Leon ain't talking about it.
Right.
We ain't getting no word from Leon about something as trivial as Mitch being injured.
Right.
So now you hear, oh, I'm not coming back until I'm ready. So we should assume when you're on the court, you're ready.
So what type of injury requires this man to be out 8 months? Ain't that kind of strange? No ligament damage. This man might be,
But he had surgery. And whatever, I'm not going to speak to a man's pain tolerance. Okay?
Right.
Especially a professional athlete.
Right.
Because I remember Grant Hill that tried to come back and kept trying to come back until finally when Orlando got him, is there even
right
footage of Grant Hill in Orlando? This is one of the greatest talents the NBA has ever produced.
Right. He's a Duke small forward. That's what Duke does. Duke basketball will produce a small forward in a heartbeat.
No. But he was special.
That's what Duke small forwards are special, bro.
No. He's special beyond their special.
He's special beyond Jason Tatum special?
At that time?
He's special beyond.
Yeah.
I mean,
because
Brandon Ingram special.
Beyond, absolutely. Because
beyond RJ Barrett special, beyond Zion special.
RJ Barrett special in comparison to Grant Hill?
He had a triple-double last night, bro.
That's fine.
RJ Barrett had 15 assists last night.
And I had rum punch on the rocks.
And it was delicious.
and it was
delicious.
Delicious. We're not talking about something. We ain't talking about the same things here.
Right.
Man, Hill was different. That man was, and then once he got injured and he kept trying to come back and trying to you just had new injuries, new leg injuries all around.
Yeah.
That when Orlando gave him that, Orlando's concept was we're going to get Tim Duncan, Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill.
And win right now.
And win now.
Yep.
Who, if they were healthy, Freezy, who was stopping that?
Nobody.
We're talking about this is what?
2001?
2002?
Right.
Something like that? The 2002? Who is stopping that at that moment? You'd have destroyed San Antonio, right? Because Doc Rivers said once Tim Duncan got back on the plane, he knew he lost him. But Duncan had committed.
Right.
Duncan committed allegedly to Orlando.
Yeah. And Doc Rivers' dumbass wouldn't let Tim Duncan family get on the plane. He made them fly commercial and then expected that man to sign the contract in Orlando.
Because you got people that don't know how to handle high-level superstar talent.
Yeah.
And it's in its totality.
Yeah.
When you go at the superstar, you don't just go at the superstar. You go
Chicago dudes are built different, bro. Like in anytime a Chicago dude is in a decision-making process, you're like, yo, something crazy about to happen, bro. I know like 10 Chicago dudes, bro. I was in the army with a lot of them, bro. I'm not saying that they're strange. I'm saying that they just think different. Like Chicago dudes, bro. Look at Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is like a different, bro. Look at Kanye.
But when Derrick Rose was at Chicago, Derrick Rose's whole family was eating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know what I mean? Like when Adidas gave him the lifetime contract, from what I understand, I could be wrong. Chat pointed out to me if I'm incorrect.
Right.
Like some of his peoples are eating as well.
Right.
See what I'm saying? It's like when you go at the star, it's not just the star you go after. It's everything around him that's important because he's going to listen to them.
Because that's going to be a part of his decision-making process.
Period.
Yeah.
Who's the next person on the list that you talk to if you're going after a Tim Duncan? It's wife.
Yep. And
how do you go after her? It's an invitation to everything that we have here to offer. Yep. What is it that's what I said. Whatever you like.
Whenever you like.
Yeah. Well, I know what I like, but
yeah, what do you like?
What do you like? Whatever you like. And that's how you go after that. You know what I'm saying? And you don't waste energy on minute stupidness like you can't get on the plane.
Oh my God. And it's the off season.
So who the hell am I gonna talk to?
Doc Rivers is a mess, bro.
Yeah, decisions like that cost you because if you think about it, McGrady,
right,
Duncan, Hill,
yeah.
Look at their positions. Look at what they were at that time. You're talking about some of the greatest pieces of talent.
All of them young, under what, 26? Yeah.
All of them about to combine forces, and who cares who are the other pieces?
Who cares, bro?
Who cares who the other guys are?
Bro, that would have been a nice 8-year run.
That would have been amazing. But they would have made Doc Rivers look a lot better than he was, just like what Boston did for him.
Like what Boston did. Just like what the Clippers did for him.
Well, you know.
Yeah, because Doc Rivers wasn't a second round coach Before that, Doc Rivers in Orlando, man, Doc wasn't all that.
We forgave him, or I don't want to say that. You know what? I take that back. Excuse me. We stopped looking at his Orlando record because of all of the injuries.
All of the injuries, yep.
And it seemed like every press conference, it was, this is not what it was supposed to be. Yep. You know, it's almost like the ghost of Tim Duncan shadowed them. Yep. You know, Grant Hill not being, it's like every press conference they had, you know, this is not what it was supposed to be.
And once a month, they'll post like a Grant Hill workout video. This is before we knew what workout videos were, right? We didn't know what workout video. We didn't know that it was we didn't know it was the bait and switch at the time. We were just excited to see. Grant Hill working out. He'll be back any day now, and it was like that for 3 years.
3 years, if not
3 years of any day now. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people who don't remember or you know don't know what Grant Hill was. YouTube Grant Hill. You know. For a lot of people who've never seen Mike Tyson fight, but saw that nonsense the other night, go YouTube Mike Tyson. You know, restore the feeling or educate yourself on what Mike Tyson was from age 14 up until he gets incarcerated. And even after, you know, incarceration, he wasn't the same, but that was Mike Tyson. Seeing him, you know, and I know it's hard to, you know, to talk against a bag.
Right.
And I've never seen $20 million after taxes, before taxes, or whatever.
I ain't never walked by that amount of money, bro.
Yeah. You know, I've known people who had, you know, that money and more, but that was never in my bank account. So I know it's easy for me to speak on it, but it just feels like it feels like he sullies the memory of what the youngest in charge really was. What it really was when Marvis Frazier decided to step into the ring with that man and lasted all of 30 seconds.
Marvis Frazier had what, 18 fights?
No, I think he had like 20. Marvis Frazier was a seasoned fighter. It was in comparison to Tyson, because remember, Marvis had gotten knocked out by Larry Holmes. So Marvis had already fought for the championship. Okay. Marvis is really, and I don't want to disrespect Marvis because, you know, I never disrespect fighters, but Marvis is nepotism at his best for those days. He has the Frazier name, right, but not the same game.
Right. No.
You know, he wasn't his dad. You see what I'm saying? But it's one of those things. It's in modern times. It's Bronny LeBron.
Right.
He's not his dad. Anybody can see that.
No.
Right.
He's not Rivers, Austin Rivers. Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it was just when he got into the ring with Mike that night, Mike beats anybody that night. Anybody. And you see him in
anybody ever?
Ever. When you see him in that first round, Lord, and mind you, like I said, it only took 30 or maybe a minute and 30, if I remember correctly. Everything accurate. The speed, the power, the finishing.
Bro, do you remember? I agreed. Do you remember the Pinklin Thomas fight? Remember Pinklin Thomas wouldn't go down?
That was worse than Pinklin Thomas.
Bro,
worse than that.
I think that Pinklin Thomas, Mike, is the greatest heavyweight of all time for that one night. Because Pinklin Thomas was trying to pump this jab, and he legit was walking underneath the jab, and you couldn't hit him because once you got his rhythm off, this is the sweetness of Mike, right? Oh, is that for me? Uh-oh, I'm about to get something. Hold on.
All right. But to pick back up on it, I'm gonna disagree with you, Freezy. The Pinklin Thomas Mike was a good Mike. Pinklin is a better fighter than Marvis Frazier.
Right.
But here's the thing.
Right.
Mike's efficiency in that first round, his attack, his animal he jumped on Marvis Frazier. Can you imagine you're smoking Joe Frazier and you're sitting there watching this dude literally beat the shit out of your son?
What you gonna do? You want some of this, old man? No.
That's absolutely that moment. You want some of this, old man? But I think Joe would have wanted all of it.
And he would have got the same.
And he would have gotten the same.
Right.
But the way how he destroyed him in that corner, somehow, some way, well, I don't want to say somehow, some way. I know the how and not way. But Marvis ended up in the corner. It's like you being in a phone booth with this dude at 19, 20 years old.
Right.
Because that was the pretty much the, for people who don't remember telephone booths. There was such a thing, right? There used to be such a thing. Look it up, right?
Yeah.
It's what? How big is a phone booth? 1 by 1?
Yeah, seemed
like
1
by 2, something like that?
Seemed like it, yeah.
That's the size of a corner, right? And you are in there who might have been, well, definitely for his generation, the fastest, the most powerful heavyweight, and one of the fastest and most powerful of all times.
Right.
You ill-equipped. He's landing everything. The referee might have took too long. Mind you, like I said, the shit ended in less than a minute.
Bro.
The referee might have took too long to end it because he slumped down and Mike is and Mike done gave him like 3.
Yeah, it's not the referee fault, bro. Mike is fast.
Facts.
Mike is fast, bro.
Facts.
The referee and the athlete, bro.
But he's devastating that night.
Bro, yeah.
He is absolutely devastating.
Bro, so I saw what he did to Pinklin Thomas is the greatest setup ever. Mike, and AD. As soon as I say this, you'll be like, "Oh yeah." So what Mike did is Pinklin Thomas is pumping a jab. Mike is left dip, right dip, left dip, right dip, left dip, right dip, right, and then Pinklin Thomas double jabbed, like letting Mike know he recognized the pattern, right? And so Mike seeing that is left dip, right dip, left dip, right dip. And as soon as he see the other shoulder go back, Mike is like left dip, left dip, left dip. And Pinklin is punching in an area where Mike is not at. And Mike comes around with a left hook and hit Pinklin Thomas. And you could see all that big red perm. You remember Big Red from the 5 Heartbeats? All that big red perm. Remember when Big Red got mad? His head was all over the
office hours.
Yeah. He got Thomas looking like Big Red out there, bro.
5. Yo, when that perm went down on the rooftop, he literally like one of the Spice Girls. Everything went down.
The thing about it is Mike did that pattern to set this man up, to make him think he was gonna be somewhere he wasn't. And then as soon as he tried to double pump the jab, like the heavyweights back then would pump that jab 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row. He pumped that jab twice. Mike was like, bingo. Mike was like, bingo. There's no bam.
It was
awful. Pinklin Thomas looking at the judges. The judges is like looking at Pinklin Thomas like, bro, why you looking at us? You in there with a tiger.
You in here with him. East Blue Jew. Salute. Tyson versus Terrell Biggs, though. Absolutely. And it was worse because he emasculated him after the fight. And
I can speak to Terrell Biggs. Let me tell y'all something. I sparred with Terrell Biggs at Fort Hood, Texas.
Give me 1 second.
Right, this was 19, maybe I forget when it was, but Terrell Biggs was still great. I think Terrell Biggs was like maybe ranked like 6 in the world. What year is this? 88 or something like that. I sparred with Terrell Biggs, bro. AD, that man is so fast and so strong, bro. Like when he was jabbing me, I couldn't see him. I'm a Joe. We were just sparring because I was just talking trash to him. Like when did he fight? When did he fight Mike? 87? Was it 87?
Yep.
It was like 87. He fought Terrell. He fought Terrell Biggs like 87, right?
87.
So it's
Yeah.
like 2 years. It was like 2 years. So it might have been like 89. Bro, Terrell Biggs, bro, no lie. I think Terrell Biggs was probably in a size 32 pants. That's how in shape he was, bro. Like me and him the same height. This man is like in size 32 pants and looked like a He-Man doll. Right? Andrew College is in the building. Salute. That man is in like the size 32 pants. You remember when windsuits first came out, the track suits, when people first start wearing the vinyl track suits or whatever?
To lose weight.
I was like, yo, this dude he looks like an NFL wide receiver, bro.
He was a great talent, but he never, because I was watching Terrell a long time. I was watching Terrell before the 84 Olympics.
Okay.
And somewhere between 80 and 84, he fights Teofilo Stevenson not once but twice.
Right.
The great Teofilo Stevenson.
The great. Oh, okay. I was gonna say okay.
You know, Teofilo broke his ribs in the first fight. Hit him with a right, and Teofilo like a devastating overhand right. But Teofilo broke. You know, the amateur gloves are bigger.
Right.
Amateur fights are only 3 rounds. So think about it. How much action he's getting in these 3 rounds. Freezy, you can speak to it. You got your ribs broke.
The worst. I would rather somebody tear my Achilles I would rather watch somebody tear my Achilles, right, than to get my ribs broke, bro. I had my ribs broken twice, right? One up high, and like it's every time you move, bro, it's like somebody's sticking needles in your internal organs, bro.
You know, he just, and after that, when they fight again, the first time they fought was in the Pan Am Games. Remember when they used to have Pan Am?
Yeah, I remember the Pan Am Games.
Pan Am Games. The second was here in the States. I can't remember where. It might have been in Utah or something like that. And I think they robbed Terrell. It was a much better fight than the first fight.
Okay.
And then Cuba boycotts Russia, pretty much the entire Eastern Bloc countries with Cuba decide not
because we boycotted in 80.
Because we boycotted in 80, so they don't show up in 84.
Right.
You know, some people will say that's why the Americans got so many gold medals, because one of the best team wasn't there.
Right.
Maybe
and,
they don't get.
And they may be right.
They got 9 gold medals, right? And maybe they don't get 9.
Maybe they get 7.
Maybe they get 5. Maybe they get half.
Right.
But they definitely wouldn't have gotten the heavyweight. And that's no disrespect to Big.
Because we already know who the best young heavyweight was.
We already know, and we already know who was the best heavyweight at that time. And with Tyson loses to Tillman, because remember, Biggs wins super heavyweight gold.
Right. Super heavyweight. Yep.
Tillman wins heavyweight gold.
Yeah.
Tillman beats Tyson in the box off. To this day, but he just was able to frustrate him because, pity pat, the point system.
And long arms and keeping him at bay. Yeah.
And then we saw what it was when Tillman met him in real life.
Yeah.
We done drifted far, far away again from our Knicks.
And just real quick, everybody, just real quick for those that don't know about amateur. I fought a Mexican guy in a Gold Gloves run up. You know how you have all these tournaments and then you have the one major tournament, whatever. And so I fought this dude. He was undefeated. He hadn't lost in 7 years, but he wouldn't turn pro because he made more money and had more clout as an amateur. right? You know how some people, like some dudes, legit, they don't care nothing about that thing stepping up in competition because they know when they step up in competition, it's not going to be all gravy. So you build your legend where you at, right?
Right.
I fought a Mexican dude. He was about 5'11", about 285 pounds.
Oh, damn.
Yep, absolutely. A tank. And AD, that dude landed the whole fight. That dude landed in 3-minute rounds. I think he might have landed 15 punches. Maybe. Right? I don't even think it was 15. I'm just gonna say because I don't remember all the details exactly. And I used to torture myself, like how you watched the 94 finals. I used to watch it over and over and over again to see why I got robbed, even though I know why I got robbed, right?
How you gonna do that to me?
It was politics, right? It was politics. I didn't know as a young fighter, I didn't know at the time that politics was, you think everybody is integrity. You know what I'm saying? The judges have these background checks and all that, but you don't know everybody is in on it, right? You think just one person might be a bad. You don't think the system is rigged. That dude hit me with a shot, AD, and I swear I thought I was in the future.
You were back in the future?
Whitney Houston was singing about me, man. That's the place I was at. I get hit by this.
You was in the DeLorean. You and Michael J. Fox.
You turn that DeLorean into a 4-seater. I had patted him up and got ahead on points. And it was like the ugliest fight. I wouldn't let him. He tried to corner me. I would turn, pivot, and my coach was so proud. Like, because what it is before that fight, Muhammad Ali had just released a defensive tape on Reel to Reel. You remember Reel to Reel, where you get one big wheel? And Muhammad Ali had just like 3 weeks before that. Muhammad Ali releases a tape on the Reel to Reel, and I watched that Reel to Reel every day. I know 47 minutes on defense. 47 minutes, and I watched that thing every day. And so when I would get in the corner, right, instead of trying to run out the corner chest first, I remember Muhammad Ali was saying, no, don't run out of a corner, or don't run backwards, don't run forward, right? Use your body, use geometry. He was like, use your feet. And he had a guy had tied his feet together like a rope. And what do is keep one foot still and then move the other one out of the way, and then keep one foot still and keep it. And I was like, yo, this is phenomenal. And so I incorporated that into that leading up. And that man was trying to hit me with shots. And every time I would see that shoulder come back, I knew this was coming forward. So okay. Every time he does that, I'm gonna move, like get this hip out of the way, clear this hip, move these feet. And that man was swinging wild all over the ring. And I was just patting him up. I wasn't trying to kill him. I was just pointing him. Because, back then, we used to have the white part on our gloves. We used to have the white. And all you had to do and run. Right. And it sounded like, when he hit me, it sounded like somebody slamming a car door. When I hit him, it sounded like a woodpecker on a tree. Right? Right. All the time I was like, that's what it sounded like, right? But when he hit me, AD, and I was in the twilight zone with Rod Sterling. I legit was asking Rod Sterling questions like, hey, bro, what you doing here? And, that's how dazed I was, right? And so anyway, at the end of the fight, 3 rounds, I think I hit him on average 25 times per round in white. And he hit me maybe 5 times per round because he was trying to go to the body to slow me down. Okay. Right. And this is before I knew to roll with your elbows. Right. This is before I knew to roll, like tuck your elbow and roll with it and let him hit you on the elbow. I didn't know that yet. I was just still learning. Okay. And so I was taking a body shot. Man, my sides were so. But anyway.
Body shots, baby.
They call us into the middle of the ring. This man is blowing kisses at the crowd. He's playing at the table, like telling them that's my size right there. You know how they give you the ribbon, the metal and all this. And so And I'm like, this dude fool actually think he won. I'm laughing. They announced the winner. And the winner, and this is, they don't say, back then they didn't say your name. They just said the corner you were in. It was like, the winner, the red corner. And they point to the red corner and hold this man hand up. I was like, boxing is fixed. I cried. I fell to the mat, bro, and I cried like a baby, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I cried like a baby, bro. Because you know how in those tournaments, AD, in those tournaments, you legit fight all weekend. It's Thursday through Sunday. You fight, bro.
Yeah, it's the one sport or one game, not to cut you, that I heard Marvin Hagler say this, is that you have to decide the outcome with these. And he said, you know, you really got that. You can't let it go, because he learned that lesson after the Vito and Trefermo debacle.
Yeah.
You know, and we've touched on that. But I want to ask you something as we, you know, how impressed were you with the Brooklyn victory the other night?
Not really.
Why?
The Knicks had too many people out due to injury. Right. If we had lost that game, I'd have talked to you this morning. I'd have been like, AD, I ain't worried. And the reason being is because think about this. You know, Mitch is out. You know, Precious is out. Right. You also know Cat was out. Deuce McBride was out. So you got 4 dudes out of the rotation that normally would be there. And we were blowing that team out until the referee started. I'm not going to say making bad calls. I'm going to say they were questionable. Right.
But isn't that why?
We just ran out of gas.
But isn't that why it's kind of impressive? Because you're leading pretty much the whole way. You have a 15-point lead, 16-point lead in the fourth?
Yeah.
With about
under
9 or 8 to go or something like that.
Yeah.
So, which I know that's not a super safe lead, but you're thinking that, well, this is going to be a good night. This is going to end up, and then you lose it all.
Remember, OG Anunoby fouls out. So our best defender is out while their best offensive player is on a heater. Remember how hot Cam Thomas was?
Cam Thomas, what did he score? 44?
I think so, something like that.
Cam Thomas, oh my God, was absolutely wet, right? So you lose it. You then have to come all the way back. Schroeder hits what looks like a dagger 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Knicks call timeout. 11 seconds to go. They give the ball to a man who, I'm not going to lie to you, Freezy, I may be the biggest Jalen Brunson fan.
There are a lot of us out there.
This side of his family, you know, because, and I hate, you know, dusting off my shoulders and referring back to when I was the one that coined this, the Brunson crime family.
You did do that, sir. You deserve all the credit in the world. You did say that.
But it's not that, you know what it is? I take pride in when the organization gets it right. And watching that dude on that left side or right side, right? And they clear out.
Right.
That jumper was so wet. Yeah. It was just a way bigger defender than him. He has to give him a little bit of room. Jalen goes for the win, the knockout. That's what I respect about it more than anything else.
Right.
He's not going for the tie. Right? He's going for the win, to put you up. And even when he does this, the Knicks find a way to put Schrader back in position to where Bridges, who loses him for a second.
Yeah, off the screen.
Off the screen. He loses him and then recovers and saves the day. A hell of a win, Freezy. A hell of a win. I can't lie to you. In the grand scheme of things, right? But When we
Game,
look
game
at
winners are always fun to look at.
game winners are always. Come on now. Look at the one we lost last year when they called the foul on Brunson.
Yeah.
Right? What was that?
Look at how we
Houston?
lost Wednesday when we gave up the
Yeah. You know, game winners are always, you know. But, sir, we have to leave it here, sir, because I got to rock.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. But, again, salute to the chat and so forth. We don't know where this journey started, as usual, but we know where it ended. It ended with you. Have a great Sunday. Look for me and Freezy in the whirlwind. Garvey.
Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real Anthony D.